let's do another VS22 version 10 update. I think we're about to go to version 11. So with version 10, we have everything assembled now. Have some snap caps I printed in here. I don't want to put live rounds in here anymore because I do have the striker with the firing pin fixed to it. So one of the issues I've been coming into is when we get this back, nothing in the chamber and just snap caps here. So if I have multiple rounds in the magazine and then I insert it, okay, so that time we're still fine. But if you start getting more than 2 or 3 rounds in here, this is a 10 round compliant magazine that I made. But if you have more than only a couple of rounds, what will happen, the downwards pressure from it hitting the bottom of the bolt here, it actually pushes the top round. That's also not good. They're just a hair off on size. But what it does, rather than keeping the round stacked like this and being able to be stripped, it will push it down and then they hook backwards like that and it causes a jam. Since the one below it catches the front of the magazine, the one on top of it, the rims catch. So what I think I need to do, I have a lot of empty space in here. So we have our ejector is right about here, but otherwise this in front of the trigger is all empty space. So what I think I can do, I believe I can put a manual bolt stop in there. And it's not going to be actuated to the magazine. I've had enough issues trying to get the magazines to work right, get them to fit around the ejector. So what I'm going to do is just, I believe, design and put in a catch there. So similar to how your AR is, how you can manually put it on, we did kind of the same deal. So we'll flip that on, keep the bolt locked back, be able to insert our magazine, and then let it go. So that is going to be a change for version 11, but let's show a little more on version 10. In the last video, I did a quick rundown of the version 8 bolt. There's actually a version 9, but overall design is the same. So where it's using the Model 80 clip style extractor and then the Model 80 firing pin. So this one, there's a spring that's in the back that keeps that firing pin rearward. The first few iterations of this, it was getting carbon fouled very quickly, and it was getting that bolt, the firing pin, to get hung forward. So I had to mess around with different spring weights, but same issue we ran into over the last few weeks. I don't want to keep borrowing somebody else's stuff. And this one also has a little bit of stuff borrowed from HK as far as the filled bolt carrier. Again, with the version 10, we have the hook style extractor, but the biggest difference, so all the previous versions, this is the striker. The striker's sole purpose, you can see the dents from this one. This one's been fired multiple times, but its entire purpose was just hit the back of the firing pin, the Model 80 firing pin, to send that home. So in the version 10, we have a piece of stainless sitting here in the front, and that is actually part of the striker, is now acting as the firing pin. So with this, it just has a little channel it goes through, comes out the end. It has a spring in there, and that's to try to keep it from getting hung up and getting stuck in the actual bolt itself. And that's mainly happening just because of this angle. It's kind of tapered as it goes in, and I believe the sizes are just off, just enough to where it wants to get stuck. So, I mean, if you're going slow, it's fine, but without having a spring on here, when you release it from the fully locked position, or fully cocked position rather, it will get stuck forward like that. What I don't want to have happen is have it feed around and then the bolt try to go forward with the firing or the striker somehow getting stuck. The striker, it should get stuck on the sear or on the disconnector. I just don't want to risk that and potentially have the gun run away or anything like that on me. So this one also difference from the previous version, it does have a little metal face. This is what interfaces with the disconnector and sear, since those are both metal. This plastic, it does wear down pretty quickly. You can see the wear marks on that from previous firings. But I just want to do a quick little update, kind of show off the striker. I can do some test fires with it, or at least some dry fires. Again, I have to use the snap caps, but it's smacking them hard enough to where it's actually shearing the heads off of these. So at least that means I shouldn't have any light primer strikes. That's at least the goal. But we're getting a step closer every day. Like I said, plenty of space in here to get, I believe, a bolt hold open. So we'll see. Try to get videos out sooner rather than later following this project, and hopefully there is end in sight and we can move on to another one.